Hey everyone, this is Steve Weintraub with Collider, and I'm here at our TIFF Media Studio. I want to give a huge thank you to Campari for being our sponsor and allowing us to do interviews for the smallest movies, the huge movies, and awesome movies like Arco. How are you guys doing?
Great, thank you. Thanks for having us.
I'm super excited to talk about this movie. I absolutely loved it. And I have so many things I would like to talk to the two of you about, but I do like throwing a curveball at the beginning of an interview. And this is going to be actually for you. I was really thinking about what could I ask you that I haven't asked before. And I really want to talk about Natalie Raps, which is the Lonely Island SNL digital short that you did many years ago, which was at the beginning of the Lonely Island's career on SNL and came out of left field because no one had any idea you could rap. And so what do you remember about that experience?
Yeah, it was really, really fun. I love getting to do Saturday Night Live. It's like my favorite experience in the whole press part of movie making. And yeah, Lonely Island was really at the beginning of their making these kind of music videos for Saturday Night Live. And I told them I loved rap, and they thought that was really funny because I came off as like such a, I don't know, straight and narrow kind of girl at the time. And we did it, and it was so fun. And yeah, it was fun, kind of unexpected, I guess, at the time for me to do.
I've been listening to the Lonely Island and Seth Meyers podcast. I don't know if you've heard the episode about your short, but if not, you should listen. They share a lot of details, and I'm just recommending the podcast for people who have not listened. But enough about that. I really want to say congratulations on Arco. I thought it was beautiful. I love the message. It's just such a good film, but so many people won't be familiar with it yet. I hate asking, but how have you guys been like describing the film to people?
A big hug to humanity.
That's actually very accurate. One of the things about it, though, is a lot of sci-fi films or films that take place in the future, it's very dystopian, and it's very like, it's dystopian. And you have a very optimistic view of the future while still dealing with what's going on the planet. Can you sort of talk about how you are portraying a future where humanity is you know what I mean? Like it's an optimistic view.
Yeah, because science fiction since the beginning tells us the world that we are living right now. And I think fiction created in a way the world where we're living. And I thought maybe it's our turn to tell a story that could happen, but a good story, a story, and to depict a future where it could be pleasant to live, and we have to imagine the best so it can happen, to me.
I definitely have to ask you, how did you actually first get involved in the project, and what was it that said, because this is your first film, what was it that said, oh, he can do this?
Well, Jamil Shamazdan, who's here and is a Toronto native, he is a dear friend of mine, and we also work together, and he works with Ugo and his partner Felix with their company Remembers. And so he said to Sophie, my producing partner, and I, that Ugo and Felix were working on this feature, and we saw a very early kind of animatic of the work, and we're so blown away by it. And I remember Ugo saying, it's about a memory of the future. And I thought that was so poetic and beautiful and such a great way to describe imagination and creativity and hope.
One of the things that the film does that I think is excellent, one of the many things, is the lack of like pointless exposition. You treat the audience with a lot of respect. Can you sort of talk about that aspect of the script, and that you're really not talking down to people, you're sort of just talking to them?
Well, it's a tough question. It's because sometimes you do things because you didn't like something else, and making movies or making books for me is sometimes I begin doing things because I didn't like something else, and I don't like movies in which I'm like putting an IKEA stuff, a meuble,
like building furniture.
Yeah, building an IKEA furniture. Sometimes when I watch a movie, I'm feeling like I'm doing it, and I try to, as you say, respect the audience, his intelligence, and to leave him place in the movie so he can invent the rest. And when if the audience work, the scope gets bigger, and if you leave, but you have to leave him room, so he can add something to what you propose.
Well, something else that, again, that I really enjoyed is the fact that you are shining a light on the climate of our planet and what we're dealing with and what the future might be without screaming at the audience, look at this, like, look at what we've done. And, can you sort of talk about balancing a great story with also bringing in the climate crisis, but not beating people over the head?
I think the best way to make someone do something he doesn't want to is to tell him do that, and I don't want to give lesson to anybody. I'm not the good guy for that. I just ask questions, and it's the audience to have the answers, and I just try to put things in context and to say, okay, these are the points. What do you think? What are we going to do all together to go forward?
Obviously, you've been working on this for a long time, and you see storyboards and you see how it's all going, but you don't really know what it's going to be until you finally see it. So I have to ask you, what was it like for you watching it for the first time, or a cut that you were like seeing, you know what I mean, seeing what you were making? What was your reaction to that and the message of the film?
It was spectacular getting to see it for the first time after seeing so many kind of small bits and pieces, and then seeing the entirety of Ugo's vision was extraordinary. I mean, the art is so beautiful. The story is so beautiful. The voices are so beautiful. And then it felt like almost a different experience seeing the English version after, because I had seen the French version, which blew me away. And then the English version had a whole different feel in another beautiful way. So we're so excited to get to present both to audiences now.
Yeah, I only saw the French version, so I haven't heard it in English, but it's spectacular in French. So talk a little bit about the look and feel of the movie, because I love the animation. Again, this is just a Love Fest interview, I apologize. But talk a little bit about coming up with the look of the characters and the way you wanted it to be animated.
The difficult part is that I like animation when you feel the hand of the drawer, when you feel the texture, when you feel also the errors, and the whole point was to make something charming in a way, because that's what I like in animation. But there's so many people working on an animation movie that stick to this sensitive aspect is hard. So I don't know. I lost myself.
No, you said it beautifully.
Yeah. So what? Sorry. What was?
I think I was asking you about the state of the planet and the world and geopolitics and which leaders.
The style. The style.
Yeah.
The style is pretty much mine, and the main thing was to protect it until the end, even if it went through many hands, and I think my style comes from America because I lived in America, from Europe because I'm a European, but also from Japan because I grew up with mangas, with Dragon Ball Z, with Miyazaki, and my style is a mix of all these styles. And
I always ask this when I'm talking about animation. I'm obviously a huge Miyazaki fan. I'm sure just like the two of you. Do you have a favorite Miyazaki Studio Ghibli movie?
I think probably Spirited Away.
I couldn't choose.
That for me, that I often say,
That's the ultra fan version.
I often say Spirited Away because I love that movie with everything in my soul. But then I also say there's no right answer because all of them.
Yeah, something.
You know what I mean? So one of the things about a story is that an animation, it can go through a lot of changes from the beginning to what people see on screen. So and with storyboards, and so I'm just curious, from when you started to what people are going to see, how dramatic of a change did the story go through? Or is it pretty much this is what you actually started with, and you know what I mean?
Thanks to Felix, Natalie, Sophie, we protected the story pretty much. It's almost the same as the very first week in which I worked on the movie. So and this is really thanks to my partners. So thank you, because it's, as you say, it's really difficult to protect the idea.
Yeah, but often, because I've spoken to so many directors who've done animation, and they talk about how originally the third act was this, and then it became something else. You know what I mean? It can go through a lot of changes.
No, because I think we all believe in intuitions and the power of of the things that you can't explain, but the magic of ideas, and this is the hard part in our work, is to protect the magic, I think.
Totally. Did you end up, the movie's like an hour, 20 minutes, hour 24, I forget exactly, but did you end up with a lot of like deleted scenes? Does that happen in your process, or is it everything made it into the film?
No, we just did one scene that lasted like 20 seconds that we deleted, but that's it. Yeah, the rest was exactly.
So, what surprised you? This is your first time making a feature, and I'm just so curious. I'm sorry for.
No, please.
I am so curious. What surprised you about this process that perhaps you didn't realize going in? Because making a film is so different than a short, or you know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
So I'm just curious what you learned from this process that maybe was unexpected.
It confirmed Paul Valéry's sentence, which is. You have to ignore so much stuff to work, to make. C'est que de choses il faut ignorer pour agir. I don't know how to translate.
That's hard. Wait.
You have to ignore a lot of things in order to act. And this sentence was always in my head working on this movie, because everything was at the same time difficult but pleasant, which is weird, but yeah.
And you also had 2 kids during the course of making it, so
a lot of production.
Yeah.
I was gonna be like, wait, what?
Very productive period.
I don't know much about people's personal lives. I had no idea. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm like, wow. I definitely want to ask, if you don't mind, an individual question. You, and I've asked this of like a few people who've come in the studio already today. You have won what I call the actor's lottery, which is that you have built this amazing career, and you know how hard it is to do that in Hollywood. And it's not only talent, but there's luck involved.
Oh yeah.
And so what has it been like for you? Like, like the last, I don't know, even 10 years, like your career and what you've been able to accomplish, and you know what I mean? Like how amazing it is, because it's really like winning a lottery.
Oh, absolutely. I think I'm aware all the time of how much of it is luck, and I feel a lot of gratitude to be able to do what I do for a living, and it feels like a very fun part of my career where now I get to work with incredible new voices like Ugo, and help introduce them to audiences, and that feels like a very, very exciting chapter of my lucky work.
That's actually what I wanted to ask you about, because you are in that unique position where you can help produce things and use your name to champion. And I'm just curious, like, what are you thinking about now and in the future for projects that you are, and perhaps you're working on things that I don't know about?
Yeah, well, it's been incredible. Sophie Mas, who Ugo mentioned, my partner in Mountain A, our company, and I have been extremely happy to be supporting and working with talents that we love. And some of them are kind of established voices like Todd Haynes or Lena Dunham, and some of them are new voices or still emerging voices like Ugo and Kathy Yan and Alma Harrell. So we've been really lucky to get to, really work with incredible people and follow their visions and try and protect their visions, and then introduce beautiful pieces like Arco to the world.
Speaking of which, I was looking on the always accurate IMDb. I apologize, I've switched to her now. Don't take offense. But I wanted to ask about The Gallerist, which is Kathy Yen. What can you tease people about the project? What was it about the material that said, oh, I need to be involved? Kathy
Yen's an incredible director. I loved working with her. We had the most insane cast with Jenna Ortega, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Divine Joy Randolph, Sterling K. Brown, Zach Galifianakis, like just an embarrassment of riches. And we had such a fun time. It's a very funny art world satire, I would say. And yeah, we're in the post-production period and we'll be out next year.
How involved do you like to be in terms of when you're an actor in the editing process? Do you like to not see anything till there's like the final cut? Or do you know what I mean? Like what is your process like when it comes to that?
I don't watch anything while we're shooting because it's hard for me to separate between being an actress and a producer while I'm working like that. But I start getting involved as soon as we finish, and then I watch all the cuts and give notes and everything.
I'm basically out of time. So last question for you guys. I am so curious if you are working on anything else right now, because again, I loved this movie. And for you, I'm curious what you might be filming later this year or next year. What have you already started? What's on your docket, if you will?
Well, I have projects, but it's long, so I won't talk about it because in animation it's like 5-6 years. So
can I ask?
Don't want to.
Are you planning on doing another animated film?
Yeah.
Yes. I say yes to this. Yes.
Yeah, and I finished Lena Dunham's film Good Sex this summer, so we have that coming out next year, and The Gallerist, and the other stuff I'm not ready to talk about yet.
Yeah, I understand.
Other stuff in production.
Yeah, I get it. Contracts need to be signed. What?
Yeah.
Right. I'm familiar. Listen, I just want to say again, one more time, thank you so much for coming in. And I loved the movie so much. And thank you for making it.
Thank you.
On that note, you guys, please tune in to Collider for more interviews and have a fantastic TIFF.
Thank you.
Thank you.